Number you have dialed is not in service. The number you have dialed is not in service. Thank you for calling the Louisiana Parent Line. The Parent Line is also available 24/7 via text message. If you prefer to text, please text us at 225-424-1533. To continue your call, please remain on the line for the next available agent. Please enter your 5-digit zip code followed by the pound key. Louisiana Parent Line, how can I help you?
Hi, I'm calling this number first because it said for specialists for de-escalation before I call the report line, so that I could discern if I should call the report line or if I should go through you guys instead.
Okay.
If that's the case, should I still do the report line instead of you guys? Because this was called the parent line, and I'm not a parent.
Okay. Okay. So what we do is we're here for like emotional support. Um, so if you need, to talk about something that's going on, we're here for that. If you want to make like a report, then that's the Department of Children and Family Services, which we can connect you to them if you need to talk with them.
Would you guys be the ones who could help me with maybe give me a bit more information before I get transferred to them? Because I don't really want to take up too much of their time, especially not with the big like a red notice that it says that they're very I guess backed up probably. Just so because I don't really understand that much about this process, and I'd like to, I think, maybe understand a little bit more about it just right before I get connected to them. Is that okay?
Oh, okay. I understand what you're saying. You're just trying to find more information. The only thing is we're not completely connected to them, so we don't really know that much about their process of what they do. All we know is that they make the reports. You can remain anonymous, so if you have questions, you can ask them anything, and you don't have to give your information out to them at all. Um, so, that's pretty much the basis of what I know about what they do. Um, we're
Okay.
just like the other line that helps if, you need to talk with somebody, or, you're going through some behavioral issues with your child, and, that's what we're kind of here for.
Okay, so you're not typically the ones who pick up the phone when it's like potentially the victim calling instead.
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
Um,
I guess then should be connected to them because that's kind of what I was calling about, was just kind of I'm not in the situation where I'm the parent having the emotional problems, but the child of the parent who's likely having some emotional problems and some probably substance problems as well, and other issues that are kind of kept hidden from me, quite frankly, but we do have police involvement quite infrequently,
mhm.
and have for many years now, to the extent where they were here every single day almost to deal with my parents. So I mean,
Mhm.
that's kind of de-escalated over the years, but in the last month, I guess certain things have escalated a bit more, and that's definitely indicative of my mother having more likely emotional issues, because it's always something that ends up being emotional, that ends up
Mhm.
being some sort of actions by her, like in this case, and that's the actions this time are just too much for me to kind of ignore.
Mhm.
So I that's why I was proceeding to try to find out where I'm supposed to exactly go. Because I don't believe I'm supposed to be reporting this to like the sheriff's office because they've kind of instructed me in the past not to.
Mhm.
Probably to keep like my parents from immediately being thrown in prison, or escalating things further in that manner. So I'm kind of trying to find out like where I'm supposed to go first to not screw things up for everybody else type of a deal, since it seems like
Mm.
there's probably other ways to make this not as problematic in the long term as it could be otherwise.
Mhm. So is a child being abused? You mentioned substance abuse. So are they on drugs and they
No,
need like
no, my
rehab?
mother, she drinks a lot of alcohol, and doesn't is I guess neglectful. She always has been, and is she's kind of just not really oh, she's been declared an unreliable caregiver by a judge a couple times.
Mhm.
She has been declared my caregiver by a judge a few times, and that was an unappealable ruling, so I wasn't able to do anything about that. They tried to get like an assisted caregiver or something to be contracted, um, through my insurance, but that didn't.
Mhm.
Uh, Even with that prior authorized, for like what was it, like 14 grand a month or something, they the state still turned it down and refused. So the judge had to rule in favor of her being my caregiver still, and that wasn't really something that could change, uh, even with the unreliable status. So I mean, I'm not exactly certain still if how severe that is, but it seemed like it was a significant factor from just how the judge was conversing with the representative. That was a few years ago, but I know that still stands now because it didn't seem like it was something that could be overturned unless it was with someone at a higher court, which would have to be uh, an appellate, I think.
Mhm. So are you the child
Yes,
that
yes,
needs
ma'am.
help?
Yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 25. I'm on Social Security, federally recognized as disabled, and my mother's my
Okay, so the
caregiver.
okay, I understand. So Department of Children and Family Services, that's mainly for like children. That means like under the age of 18. If you want to, if you
They
have like,
usually send me to Department of Children and Family Services for stuff because I still do have Medicaid through them. I'm still on like the LA chip thing for that.
mhm,
So I mean, federally there isn't actually a age out if you're under SSI and not SSDI.
mhm,
So usually I'm still with you guys somehow, even if there's not that
okay,
many of us. There we still tend to we still exist. There's just
mhm,
we're rare for sure because I know a lot of other kids they hit 18 and then they don't get like dental anymore and they don't get uh, a lot of other stuff or they don't get any medical, but even if they're disabled, but like those that's not the type that I am. We're an entirely separate classification.
mhm. Okay, I understand. Let's see. So I know we have like resources, you know, we have the aging and adult services. They help like adults with disabilities, um, if they're having any issues in a home with, you know, any type of neglect, or if you need a caregiver, they can kind of help with that. Um, is that something that you think you would want some information on?
Yeah,
Or
sure, that sounds good.
okay, so this is called the aging and adult services. Um, so let's see. So the Adult Protective Services, their number is 800-898-4910.
And that's the Adult Protective Services.
Yeah, and it's with the Aging and Disability Resource um, Center.
Adult Protective Services Resource Center.
Mhm. Yes. They support adults with disabilities, so you know you can call them for like a little bit more information. That's all they provide to us. But yeah, do you need like another caregiver? Is that another thing that you're looking for?
Is that a possibility?
Um, I would think so, and I know you're under your mom's care, so I'm not quite sure how that process goes.
Yeah, me neither. Honestly, it doesn't really. I haven't really like thought of that much. Really, if
Mhm.
if you know of like a procedure for that, I guess I could look into that. Sure, uh, that sounds like something
Mhm.
would be good for me to hear about.
Okay. Um, so the Louisiana Department of Health, they have listings for people who are disabled to locate like caregivers in their homes, so that they can come to your home, or you can go to them as well. Um, so they have like different programs, different places that can come to you and give and care give basically. Um, so I can give you their phone number. It's called the Adult Residential Care.
Adult residential care. That's it.
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's for the caregivers. Their number is 225 area code 342 6298.
What area code is 225?
That will be Baton Rouge, but they do help all of Louisiana. So they help your parish as well.
Okay.
hmm
And so that's and that doesn't have to be in a residential facility. You can be in your own house.
Right. They can come to your home as well.
Okay. I didn't realize that was a program.
Mhm.
All right, I'll try them then too. That could be a big
Mhm.
help if that would still be qualified for that.
Mhm. Yeah. Um. Mhm. So that's the only thing I can kind of think of. Was there any, other resource you can think of that you might need?
Do you guys help people with like connecting for like food and amenities and things like that, like that type of a thing? Because depending on what my mother is kind of going through, she might not buy toilet
Mhm.
paper and things like that, and then she'll kind of like go on vacation, and then there won't be any toilet paper or food, or that's happened a few times in the last year. Because she'll just won't really be with kind of present, honestly, like to get all of those things together. And like my father will be working and stuff, and he could be legitimately just unaware, and then or he might not be in town, and then there's nothing here, and I wouldn't have
Mhm.
access to the fund. I don't have access to funds or anything, um which is kind of a big issue. But like, if is there,
Mhm.
because I've tried with Snap before, and that hasn't worked. Just because of
Mhm.
how that program is. Is there like
Mhm.
anything through Louisiana itself that you know of that you like have heard about?
Hmm. Um. So you're talking about a program that has food that can give you food and toilet paper?
Yeah, maybe something like that. Maybe something like under like substance abuse or something. Like if a parent is seen as kind of like, you know like maybe their family doesn't qualify for SNAP, but like the parent is, there needs to be something still for the kids because the parent like is spending the money on like alcohol or something, or just not seen as like reliable enough in that regard, because that would definitely apply here.
Mm. So there's no specific program like that. Like I mean, like I said, we do have the programs for like the caregivers and what they can do. They don't have to come every day. If you need transportation somewhere, if you need them to take you, to get food or whatever, they can help with that. But I know you said that you didn't have any, they don't give you any funds, so that might be the only issue regarding that. Um, we do have food pantries that you can go to. Maybe you can get the caregiver to take you to like a food pantry, and that's where they give free meals and stuff. Um, uh, yeah, that's the only thing I can think of regarding that type of situation. What's your zip code?
70471.
Okay, let me just check and see what we have. Mm-mm. Are you able to get to like food pantries? Would
No,
you do you
no,
have
no,
transportation?
ma'am. I
Okay.
don't, and there's no public transportation in this area, and I can't drive. Um,
Okay.
yeah, we don't really have many resources here, honestly, for anyone really. Um, you basically have to pay for like an Uber or like a taxi cab if they aren't if
Mhm.
they're if they aren't already full, taking people across the lake to like the airport or something. Um,
Yeah.
so that definitely wouldn't be something that I'd have access to.
Mhm. Right. Right. Okay. Mm. So I guess I would just try calling the caregivers that I gave you, because like I said, they can help with transportation. So given a day that your parents aren't there, you can give them a call and maybe they can take you to like a food pantry that you can go to that's close to you. 'Cause I do see that there is a few food pantries in your area that you could go to. So if you had transportation, you could get there and get some food for yourself. Um, but that's about all I have. So any other questions?
Uh, no, ma'am. I'll try those two numbers though. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope you have a good rest of your day. You take care.
You too, ma'am.